Some watches aim to be understated, while some are made to draw attention, whether by being flashy and in your face or simply being well known, like many Rolex pieces. Then there's a third group that I like to call conversation starters. Those pieces are in the draw attention category, but they're opposite of being famous or iconic. They tend to be unique, weird, and often in your face, making even strangers approach you to ask you what on earth are you wearing on your wrist. Watches like the Nixie Tube watch I reviewed or the Sega Design Blue Planet are some of those. Usually a small brand will have one such piece in their collection, unless that brand is NOVE. When it comes to their collection, they have only a few normal watches and then a wide range of watches some might call crazy. The thinnest dive watch ever made with an exposed bezel mechanism called Trident, the behemoth Atlantean with a hovering transparent inner bezel, and now this, the craziest of them all, called Gemini, after the zodiac sign. Under the name hides a two-faced watch unlike any you have ever seen. Unlike the Reverso that I own that tries to hide its dual-face complication, this one shows it proudly by having an elaborate flipping mechanism that is not only completely exposed, but is a huge chunk of gears and levers found at 12 o'clock, making it look and feel almost steampunk in design. And activating the lever used for flipping the watch face starts a dance you must see to really appreciate. If there ever was a watch that can be identified as the ultimate conversation starter, this is it. Even when you're not operating it, the huge mechanism that sticks out on your wrist simply draws attention. My coworkers know I review watches in my spare time, so some of them will gaze upon my wrist from time to time to check out what I'm wearing. But with this, every single one of them noticed it and wanted to see what it is. I even noticed people on the street looking at my wrist as I pass by, making me laugh a little every time. They don't stop me to ask about it, but I have a feeling they're having an internal struggle of whether or not it would be appropriate to start a conversation with me. This is definitely not a watch for the faint of heart or ones that want to stay low-key. Under the elaborate flipping mechanism hides a simple Swiss-made quartz watch with two Rinda Slimtec movements, each driving one of the faces. The first face is matte black with a polished bezel and a small seconds complication, while the second is a gradient red that turns black at the edges. Here the bezel is brushed and has no decorative screws. What I like is the way they hide the crown of the face that is flipped back, unlike some other reversing watches where you can see both crowns at the same time. The watch is a huge chunk of steel, measuring 49.5 mm in diameter and incredible 60 mm in length. But that dimension is somewhat deceiving, as the shape of the actual case and the way the bracelet goes down makes it wear okay even on my small 6.5-inch wrist. It pulls off a trick similar to Seiko Tuna, another huge watch that actually wears pretty small. The thickness is also pretty okay at 13.5, especially considering two movements, two faces, two sets of hands, and the cradle of the watch. That just shows how thin the Rinda Slimtec really is. The finishing on everything is very good, and the bracelet is amazing, as it's the same one they used on the Atlantean. The one thing I would change are the hour markers on at least one of the faces. I would leave one face with their traditional polished spheres, but give the second face more traditional loomed markers, making it even more sporty. That way you could not only track two separate time zones, but could also have two completely different watches, one sporty and the other one more elegant. If elegant can even be used in the same sentence with such a crazy looking watch. Overall, I like it. Yes, it is crazy, and no, it doesn't make much sense. The mechanism prevents you to wear it on anything other than short sleeves, and yes, it has its flaws design-wise. But all those pitfalls are irrelevant to a person buying this watch. They want something that will make other people look at their wrist and ask them about the watch, and that part NOVE executed perfectly. Every time I review a NOVE, I end up with the same sentence. I can't wait to see what they come up with next. And every time I think to myself, there is no way they can get crazier than what they just did. But each time, they proved me wrong. They launched something even wackier. Will they be able to trump this one? I don't know, but I know I'll be waiting to see. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video, bye.